Okay, well, I'd like to just take a minute and take some deep breaths before we get into our topic, which is we are going to do some exploration of the 12th heaven of consciousness. And what does that even mean? So, anyway, I just need to kind of bring my brain to where I'm at. And so let's just take a moment, close your eyes. Take some deep breaths. Take a moment to place your hand on your heart. Open your heart and receive. And experience the light and the life force and vitality of Reiki flowing through you now. And take this time to be about you. Let go of the busyness of your day and all the things you need to think about later. And give yourself this time to be about you and for you. And I love how this works because I'm hearing the voice saying, and that is true for you too, Colleen, for me to take this time to be about me and for me, and each of you. And even as we gather in community and in shared contribution to the wellness in the world, those can coexist at the same time as we allow the energy to come in and empower each of our own bodies, mind, spirit, and to strengthen our just clarity of mind and ease of our day. And so we welcome all the Reiki energies. We welcome the 12 heavens of consciousness. We welcome the enlightened ones. Say thank you to you. We say thank you to each other. Thank you to the enlightened ones and all the Reiki energies that are here for us. Thank you. And these spiritual dimensions and places. Thank you. And thank you to the teachers who came before us to bring us these ways, the descendants who come after. Breathe deeply now, open your heart and receive the gift of love, the light of the divine mind, the power of the divine heart, the light of the earth, the light of the heavens, and your light within all ignites and is present. Thank you. And so it is. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Robin, I love that picture of you that you put on your Zoom.
Thank you.
So I'd like to just take a moment for you to notice your energy now. And that was only about 3 minutes. It definitely shifted me quickly. Let's see. I think what we should do, make any announcements? We do have a few. Danny's saying yes, make those announcements. And so let's see, we have an Animal Reiki 1 and 2 Reiki Master, Animal Reiki Master, Human Reiki 1 and 2, and a Human Reiki Master are all coming up in October, and that's on ReikiLifestyle.com. All of those are online. And then I am actually heading off to Japan to teach Reiki Master and Karuna Reiki Master in Japan with William on Mount Karama. There are still some spaces left for that if that is something you suddenly feel inspired to do. And then the next thing that I would say to start thinking about, if you feel called to, and we'll be adding more and more information as we go, is that we are starting our 2025 Next Step Reiki training classes and Explore the 12 Heavens of Consciousness classes starting in January. Those meet monthly. They are advanced training. However, you can be a beginner. You don't have to be advanced to receive this next level of training. The Next Step classes are 3 one-year classes. They always run from January through December. There's level 1, level 2, and level 3. All that information is on our website. And like I say, we will actually be doing a webinar, and we will be doing other podcasts and things like that to let you know. But you can get the information on our website, and then also you can register for the wait list, and that starts in January. Anything else? Okay. See, that's what happens when I stop and take some deep breaths. I actually remember all the things I'm supposed to say. So there we go. All right. Well, what we are talking about, and we have been talking about all this month, is a concept called the 12 Heavens of Consciousness. And that we have learned about through Holy Fire Reiki. And it really came in that originally as the first 3 heavens that we were exploring. And then with the Holy Fire 3 upgrade in 2018, we became aware of the 12 heavens. And also we're aware that there are more than that. When we asked the spirit guides about that, they said, just start with the 12. That's enough to to explore for a while. Also, we always want to add that this is not to replace any of your existing beliefs. It may integrate in with existing beliefs, and also that you will have your own unique experience of any of these realms. I think of them as spiritual realms, and that they can be unique with all of us because we're all unique. And so when we do the journeys, Robin is going to journey to the 12th heaven today and give you the opportunity to explore it energetically using Reiki. These also are not meant to say that we have the complete awareness of the nature of the universe and the earth and creation and all of it, but these are definitely both fascinating and then personally beneficial in getting to explore them. And what I've been told by Reiki is that this is the energy that it works with, and it's okay that we don't understand it all, know it all, even explore it all. It's a personal, like, are you curious? Are you interested in it? But there's no requirement, and it also is not what is making your Reiki more powerful, that you know more about these heavens. What I have found, because we've been teaching this is one of the classes we teach from January through December. Also, we have this information on our YouTube channel. We've written articles about it that are on our website too. So these journeys are also posted and here for you. But what I've been told by the Reiki energy is when we access these realms of consciousness, both within us because they do exist within us. We have our human consciousness, the duality of our human consciousness, and also our pure spirit consciousness is also within us. And we can access it at all different levels. In my own experience, I'm still going to be human. So I'm human accessing these. At the same time, what I've been shown by Reiki energy is simply like going into the exploration of it is letting the energy know that you are ready to expand into those levels of consciousness within you and your perception of those levels of consciousness around you on the earth. And then I think of them as spiritual realms beyond the earth also, depending on your viewpoint of what that means. To me, it's the infinite realms of the soul and the realms of creation from the power of love, from pure consciousness, from the divine heart, and then connected with the energy of the earth so that we can experience that within ourselves and around us on the earth. The benefit of it is the applied spirituality. How does it affect your daily life? And why does it matter? Well, what I think of it, it's certainly showing up now in all of our work, but also in our sessions. On a personal level, I think it just helps me access higher thought in my daily life. It helps me think more resourcefully. It helps me act more clearly and in alignment with myself and who I am deeply inside of myself. All the while, I'm still being human with all the human stuff because humaning is what we do every day. And I like that part. That's the other thing that I have found in the exploration of not only these energies, but the Reiki energies is one of the things that it's really helping us to do when we say self-love. It's also human love, which we can be challenged by because of experiences in our life, experiences around us. The earth as the first heaven it's a heaven, but it's a dual realm. And we know there's higher and lower frequencies. And then when we get to the third heaven, now we are in an enlightened realm, and everything beyond that is an enlightened realm, which means it's non-dual. So the lower frequencies do not exist in both of those realms. The creation force of those realms, the biofields, whatever, the elements of the earth, actual earth creation, these levels of consciousness are a part of this creation. And then it's also part of us because we are created from all of us. What we see is often the challenge of what we call the great forgetting, because it's also because of life experience, we can also completely forget that the wholeness of our higher consciousness still exists within us. The wholeness of our beingness still exists within us. Life injuries can create what we call, these are just our names for them, layers that hide you from your own view. So, you can watch children grow up and just the nature of being on the planet and the earth. I remember my oldest granddaughter, and the first time she hit her head on the coffee table, and it was like, oh, there's one of the layers. Oh, that hurt. She didn't even know that it could hurt like that. She was at that age just learning how to stand up. And so just because of life experience and then other experiences we might come into this life with, those layers can create veils of forgetting over us. And I'm always fascinated, we are always fascinated by how do we access beyond those layers to heal the layers, but also access the part of us and reveal that part of us that is actually our authentic truth, our authentic self. So Reiki energy is one of the ways we do that. And we have been also, learning how to explore more about what is Reiki, spiritually guided life force energy. Well, what does that mean? And what does it mean to each person? Because what Reiki teaches us is we each have our own perspective and our own truth of what all that means. So how do you get to your truth, to access your inner awareness and your inner truth about any of these subjects? So we love the subject. We love teaching the subject. We love talking about this subject, as you can tell. So this month we've been accessing, we accessed the first heaven, the third heaven. Those are all on our YouTube channels if you want to go back. And we also accessed some of the eighth heaven last week. Robin said she was working with the eighth heaven and the equinox last week. And so this week we are actually going to do our journey to the 12th heaven. And we're still learning more and more about it. And I think it will be a forever exploration and forever new levels and unlimited levels of experience with it. We often talk about how these journeys give us these like really amazing experiences, and we can do that using Reiki energy. So let's talk about what our experience. Robin has her own, Danny has her own, Teresa, that's been doing this for years with us, has her own. And it's always fascinating because at the end of the class, we share about what everybody's perspective is and get to experience all the unity of experience, the commonality of experiences, and then also each person's unique experience that each of us can, really enjoy also. It's fun to hear from all the different levels. So let's talk about the 12th heaven and what we think we know about it now. It's an ongoing exploration. We've been working with this for quite a while and very in depth. So as we work through these heavens, and I know that going 1 through 12 gives them somewhat of a hierarchical viewpoint, I see them as parallel. They're not a better than, they are just another realm. They can be called levels of consciousness. They are, for me, both a spiritual realm that I access and levels of consciousness that I access. And both are within ourselves, part of the earth, and then beyond the earth. So when we elevate into the 12th heaven, this is going into one of the highest levels of consciousness accessible to us. As it said, as we've been working with these, they definitely let us know that there are higher levels even than this. But right now, work with these energies and spend time with it. This is the realm also that can reveal our soul's purpose and the gifts and abilities that we bring with us from our own soul's knowledge and our spirit's knowledge. So coming in from the purity of our divine self, knowing that we are now, our souls are now incarnating into this world, into the first heaven, and in this 12th heaven of consciousness, we still remember what our gifts are, what we know, what we bring with us. And then also part of why we decide to come here as a soul. I personally don't know at what point it's decided where we land in our incarnation. I hesitate to, I struggle personally with the idea that we know what family we're going to be born into or what circumstance we're going to be born into. And so I've just put that into the mystery category. Everybody has their own belief around that. I have a hard time with that belief because when a person is born into such a hard life, and I think, okay, I'm born into a pretty easy life. Comparatively, I've had my challenges. I'm not undermining that, but I struggle with that belief. So that caveat said, in this 12th heaven of consciousness, we still remember why we are going to incarnate, what we bring with us, and the gifts and talents that we have that will help us live this life with our purpose. It can reveal our unique gifts, our spiritual talents, what we know from our soul's journey and our soul's history, and through the experiences of our soul. And my own belief of our soul is that we have infinite numbers of experiences of our soul. So I call that our soul's history or our soul's journey. I also have experienced that our soul can bring awareness into this lifetime from future lifetimes that we still come in, because in the realms of our soul, in the realms of consciousness at that level, there is no time and space. So we also bring in some of the awareness of future existences, or what we think of as future here, because we live in time and space. Sometimes there can be a challenge with the idea of accessing that, because there can be a lot of confusion about your soul's purpose and confusion about your gifts and talents, or a feeling of not knowing how to experience those, not knowing how to access them, or feeling as if you're out of alignment with them. And so that's another area that Reiki, using Reiki for this, actually comes in to heal those parts of you that have those fears because of real experiences, or just, the concerns about the what ifs. I don't ever discover my purpose or live my purpose, or what if I don't feel worthy for all of it. Sometimes it can also bring a fear of losing your own identity into the spiritual. And that's one of the things I think of why we always talk about how to bring the spiritual into the material. How do you apply the spiritual concepts that you experience and bring those higher levels of consciousness to your daily life? And then the idea of fulfilling it. A lot of times what I see with people is they think of their job as how they're going to fulfill their purpose. And that may be true, but you can be in a completely different place of fulfilling your purpose than what your daily work is. You can even be aligned with your purpose and not know you're aligned. I saw one of the earliest ones that I saw, and this was, you guys that have known me a long time, I talk about my connection with dandelions all the time, and this came from that. A journey that I did with a client years ago showed how his purpose was that he saw the dandelion when he was a small child in the crack of the sidewalk and just thought it was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. And so, you know how when you're in that Reiki energy with it, it's like you're feeling that experience too. And I got to feel that childlike love and how much that mattered in his life. And that was the purpose. And it didn't have to do with his job as an adult. It all had to do with that powerful, just emotion of love that he brought into the world in that moment. And of course, in future moments that he experienced. And he would not have ever said he knew that about himself, that was what he was here for, or even remembering that experience. And from that, I have always had really powerful experiences of gratitude, love, and beauty and appreciation when I see those dandelions or those little tiny flowers popping up, and they bring that feeling out. So see right there how that can matter, manifesting in ways that people don't even know about. So when you explore your own, open to the possibility of the simplicity that it can be a smile, it can be an appreciation of beauty, and it can be for a very, important purpose in the world for world change. But it also can just be the simplicity of being ordinary, being content, and living your life. Also, what you find in this 12th heaven is that it activates that energy within you, activating in your cellular memory the awareness that even if you're not aware of it on a conscious level, it's going to activate that inner awareness on a cellular level and of your gifts, your talents, and what you came into this world with. And by the way, when I say gifts and talents, to me, it's just, like such a long line of things I could say that it's just the gifts and talents is the big picture of meaning the things that you bring in with your soul that assist you in living in this lifetime. It's your divine presence, and you're accessing in that 12th heaven your divine presence, and also in your human presence. It's the unity of your divine self and your human self, your divine spirit and your human spirit. And so you come in this location to be able to access that consciousness of your unified self. It can give you access to the inner awareness that in the most human of your moments, your divine presence still is there and whole. Those layers can come in and hide them from your own view. Sometimes it can feel as if you're completely separated from that perception of yourself. And then also, it can be like feeling like, how can the two coincide and coexist? So the journey that Robin is about to do is going to take you on the journey to the 12th heaven and to explore for yourself.